Hi everyone, my name is Idil and welcome to my kitchen. In this video we're going to make a very typical Turkish dish called Iskender. This dish was originated from my hometown, Bursa. It's very popular in Turkey, you can find it everywhere. You can think of it as döner kebab, you know, like the ones where they hang the meat and it turns around cooking. We are not gonna do the exact same thing because none of us have the equipment at home, but we're going to do a very similar thing with a different technique and it's going to taste exactly like döner. So what I'm going to make first is the tomato sauce that we serve döner with. And in order to do that, in a small pan here, I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of butter. Once the butter has been melted, I'm going to add in the tomato paste and we'll continue. And now I'm adding a tablespoon of tomato paste and I'm going to saute the tomato paste with the butter until it smells a little bit more cooked. So I will say for about 40 seconds. And now I'm adding half a cup of tomato juice. You can substitute it with peeled tomatoes if you would like. I like to use the juice more because it's more saucy. I'm adding some red pepper flakes, some salt, giving everything a good mix. And I'll continue to let this simmer for about 15-20 minutes until everything is done so that it has a more deep flavor. And while that's cooking, I'm going to prepare the meat. So I have in front of me about 300 grams of tenderloin, and what I did was I put it in the freezer the night before and I froze it. And today, before making this dish, like 20 minutes ago, I took it out of the freezer so that it softened up a little bit and it will be easier for me to slice it with my knife here. So always use a sharp knife. And with a sharp knife, I'm going to slice this very thin. You can use the same technique with chicken as well to make chicken döner. And when buying meat from your butcher, expect to see some fat in here, and that way you'll know it's going to be juicy and tasty. As you can see, I've sliced up my meat as thin as I can, but you don't need to kill yourself. Just like about this thick is perfect actually. So I'm going to put some salt and pepper on top of the meat. The other side as well. And I'm going to transfer the meat in a very hot pan and I'm going to cook it for 1 minute on each side. It's going to be more than enough. And here I have another pan, and to that I'm going to add my pita bread so it's nice and crunchy as well. So the meat is ready. I didn't overcook it because we sliced it quite thin, so a minute about each side is more than okay. And here I'm making ghee, so I put 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan. And what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take the milk out of the butter so that we're going to have clarified, more tastier, more flavorful butter. And we use a lot of butter for this, and that's how it's supposed to be. And the bread is nice and crispy as well. So I'm going to turn off the heat of the bread. I'm going to transfer it to my serving plate here. That's perfect. And how to make clarified butter or ghee is that once the butter has melted, you're going to start seeing some bubbles, white bubbles on top of the surface. And we're simply going to take these with a spoon. And what's left will be an amazing butter. You can store it in a jar at room temperature. It's great to store butter at room temperature. It won't go bad and you can use it anytime you want. And the greatest thing with using ghee is that it doesn't burn. So you can, if you want, even fry stuff in it and it won't burn. I'm adding some more red pepper flakes in my golden color ghee right now. I'm turning off the heat. So let's plate this up. I've got my bread. On top of the bread, I'm simply going to pour some of that tomato sauce. Half of it will be enough. We are going to save the other half to use later. I just want the bread to absorb that beautiful taste. I'm adding in the meat, which has rested now. And when you rest the meat, you make sure that the juices don't go on your plate, which is always a good sign. I'm going to pour over some yogurt. Yogurt is definitely a must in this recipe. I'm simply going to whisk it a little bit so that it looks nicer and creamier. And getting it on top of the meat. This looks so good. My ancestors from Bursa would be proud right now. I can feel it. Some more of that tomato sauce. Wow. And some butter. It might seem over the top. It is over the top, but it's because of that this dish is super delicious. That's quite enough. Let's give it a taste. It looks amazing. It looks so amazing. Oh. It's amazing. The meat is cooked to perfection. It's not dry at all. The crunchy bread has soaked up that beautiful tomato sauce, which made it super delicious. The butter just took it to a whole different level. It's really, really tasty. Please do get into your kitchens and try this out. I promise you're gonna love it. And if you do try it out, don't forget to leave your comments and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.